Top of the morning to you. Welcome back for another edition of Coffee with Kdub. I'm super excited to be with you all this morning. Some great questions, challenging questions this morning, which I'll do my best to answer. I'm just so grateful for those who continue to support Coffee with Kdub, to continue to submit their questions via Instagram at KW Baseball. So without further ado, let's get right to it. I always talk about that hitters are drowning in information but starving for wisdom. I also think back to how hitters are learning today. They're learning via a video screen. They're learning someone else's swing on a video screen, as opposed to when we were growing up. We played wiffle ball, we played stick ball, half ball. We played with aluminum bat with a tennis ball. There were a lot of things that we taught ourselves via feel, and wiffle ball is a great example because that ball moves everywhere, and I feel that we had just an invaluable lesson space and teaching space there to teach ourselves kind of how to do things. If the ball moved this way, we figured it out. If it rose, we figured it out. And I don't think a lot of guys are doing that nowadays. I think a lot of the kids get lessoned up. Certainly I was part of that. I did lessons for many years, so I was included in that, but I'm confident in saying that I think we did a good job in terms of keeping it simple and allowing that to play on the field, and the records showed that over the years. But to answer your question, I feel that a lot of the analytics have led to an over-analyzed swing. The first thing they go to is their swing rather than their approach, meaning, hey, what's wrong with my swing, Kev? And my first question to them most of the time is, well, what pitches are you swinging at? So for me, it's a lot about the swing analysis piece, keeping it simple, teaching yourself mechanics through feel. I've always been a big believer in that, and then at the same time, just making sure you have a plan and approach at the plate. And when things are going a little bit awry during the game, the first thing you should look to is not your swing mechanics. You should be looking to what you're swinging at, and then build out from there to get back on track. What fads? Certainly, for me, is the one-size-fits-all organization, program, you name it. Professional organizations, college programs, high school programs. The one-size-fits-all thing, I'm out on that. Everybody's unique. Everybody's an individual. I was a switch hitter, two different swings, two different mindsets, mentalities. So everybody's an individual. I would love to see by opening day 2020 that every program organization goes to an individualized, customized approach to help that individual and find what their strengths are and maximize that. I don't know if I have the answer to this one. This is a challenging question because I think we've all been in that spot before where we're just not feeling 100%. In a professional game, it's a joke, but it's true that after day one of spring training, it kind of all goes downhill physically for you. You're not going to feel great every day. But I think it goes back to understanding your strengths as a player and knowing that if you find what you do well and your best version of yourself at 80%, working on your strengths and just staying in your lane, and 80% you in your lane just doing what you do is a lot better than trying to go outside that lane because you feel like you're only 80% or 50% trying to be someone who you're not. That always crashes and burns for all of us. I'll raise my hand. I was guilty of doing that. I think a lot of you watching have been in that situation before. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but if you're not feeling up to par, or your teammates, or you're just having one of those games, it's trying not to do more to make up for it. For example, if you're down by 6 runs and you're the guy at the plate, nobody's on base, try not to hit that 6-run homer, because it's impossible, obviously, to do that. Your job is to have a quality at bat, is to get, be on time for a pitch in your zone, and just try to give the best at bat you have, even if you're feeling at 50-60% capacity. Do what you do, and then the next guy, just do what they do. And it kind of goes back for me to, good is enough. Almost like you're good and that's enough. Your 50% is good enough for that day, as long as you stay in your lane and do that. A lot of times you just get in trouble by just doing too much and getting outside that lane. So for me, that's the best answer I have for that question. Great question, by the way. Yeah, stay in your lane and work at the capacity you are. Nothing more and nothing less. That wraps up another edition of Coffee with Kdub. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Great questions, challenging questions, as I said in the intro. I'm looking forward to next week. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at KW Baseball. If you're not already, follow us on Instagram at KW Baseball, and be ready for a question next Sunday. We're going to do this again for you. Just so grateful for this opportunity. Grateful for those who watch and have shared this. It's just been a phenomenal journey so far. And until next time, I wish you good batting.